We're all very focused on jobs and goals, and oftentimes when we've accomplished something and we've accomplished a goal, one of three doors will open up. The first one is we take the compliment at face value and move on with our lives. The second category is that we tend to over-embellish and live it up in order to pad our egos or pad our own insecurities. And the third category is we can't accept anything. We can't focus on something good or positive that's happened in our lives. And in my case, it's the latter category. It's virtually impossible for me to accept any form of compliment or accolade without looking for that silver lining, without looking for that but. And I used to think of it as the case that it was instilled in me at a very young age that you can never be truly happy with the results, that you can be satisfied where you currently are, but there's always a room to change, there's always room to grow, and as a result, only until has everything been exhausted that you can be happy with the path that you've gone. And there we go. And I don't know if that's truly what the case in point is, but most recently it's kind of almost felt like, you know, a case of imposter syndrome. Like, even though logic is staring me completely in the face, that, you know, this is me, this is something I have accomplished, this is something that I've done. And a lot more cases, it almost feels like somebody else has done it behind the scenes, that's done it behind the curtain. And it's tough for me to accept it. And that goes back into what I'm saying about the silver lining, the case in... Good lord. It's been a while since I played this. Nope, we're definitely not going to do that. Nope, okay, let's move on. Challenge? No. That's not at the point of this entry. So, in a lot of cases, I feel drawn to the fact that for somebody who, and I'm using this term extremely, very loosely, somebody who's been mildly successful in the customer service industry and seeing things that I've done and seeing accomplishments and goals, I still cannot accept the sheer fact that, you know, this is my doing. This is something that I can take pride and ownership on, and it's been reflective numerous times over social life because I can't take the good. For me, I'm always trying to find out what that but is. What is that silver lining? When is the other shoe going to drop? When am I going to, you know, be exposed as a fraud, I guess you could almost say. And not a lot of people understand that. And I think a lot of times people tend to fall into that trap as well, is that they either can't accept something or they overcompensate for it and use that to pad their egos, when for the sheer fact of the matter is they're just as afraid, they're just as concerned and whatnot. And okay, where are we going? We need to go down here. There we go. Yep, always go to the sewers, never go to the promenade of the condemned. I do want to be able to talk a little bit. There we go. Nope, no trap here. So, how do I go about trying to correct the trajectory I'm on? And honestly, I don't have a solution for it. For me, the only thing I can think about is it's, you know, pure self-loathing, that it's, you know, just me continuing to hate who I am, what I've become, and doing things for the sake of helping others as opposed to taking time to actually accept what I enjoy, accept the fact that, hey, I've accomplished this. And even though logic is staring me in the face, it's not something that I can truly accept. Give me a moment. We are going to do the usual, or we continue the interlude. And we'll continue. So, how does one go about trying to overcome what feels almost like somebody else is doing it for them? This so-called impostor syndrome, this so-called, run the risk of being exposed as a fraud, even though you truly, logically speaking, have accomplished so much. How can you accept the good without taking some sort of negative approach? Honestly, there is no way around it. There is no set path, except for the sheer fact is that it is almost us getting in our own way. I've often said that, from Randy from Brighter Than Sons once said, the best piece of advice he ever got was get out of your own way. You're in your own way. And I wouldn't say I overcompensate by trying to be a positive influence on others, but I do try to show the good in those around me and show their true potential, particularly those that are currently in my shoes. And what it comes down to is, if I'm not practicing what I preach, then I'm a massive hypocrite. And I think in some cases that's definitely been proven. And trying to get out of our own way, me specifically, is one of the hardest things I think I could ever try to do, to the point that, and Harkop's probably aware of this, is like over the past, several months, it's become this silent plea, this silent scream, give me the compass, give me the map to allow me to get outside of myself. And I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm probably not, but, eventually we can only take so much negativity before it completely bleeds over into the rest of our lives. And the only thing that I can provide is that focus on the logic that there is truth to the accomplishments, that there is not just someone behind the scenes working and you taking credit for that. This is your goal. This is who you are. And while it may seem, cheesy to have little, affirmations here and there, it does work. It does eventually become reality. You just have to get outside of your own way long enough to allow that to happen. And I'm not saying that it's working right now, but if I can establish a baseline to, be more positive, be more accepting that there is good in me, and let go of this self-loathing, maybe truly we can unlock the skills and the way to get outside of the negativity that we've generated for ourselves. And the only thing that can ever happen is it takes time. And the impatient little bugger in me is like, no, I want it now. I'm tired of focusing on the macro. Give me the micro. Show me the short-term poultice that I can put on these wounds, and that I can accept good times. And all I can do is just take it one step at a time. And what I can change, awesome. But what I can't change, I have to allow myself to be calm about it, to be serene over it. And it's tough as hell, y'all, I'll tell you that much. But once again, I think we all fall into this trap at some point or the next where we can't really go any further. And eventually it is rock bottom. So if we take the time to get out of our own way, even just briefly, we can clear ourselves and we can focus on the better. Because once we focus on changing who we are, and getting outside of ourselves, that's truly when greatness happens. We just have to allow it long enough to manifest itself. And then we truly can unlock what we are destined to do. Hey y'all, while my gratitude knows no bounds for every single bit of love and support y'all have shown for me over the years, there are a few people that I legitimately want to take a few minutes to thank for their unending help and support. First of all, obviously Christoph Frey, not just for being a sponsor of the Boogie Night Project, but also for letting me use his music from GABA Transistor in my streams, as well as him kind of coming up with his own little fragment for my new introduction to the Boogie Night Project. And speaking of introductions, the intro as well as my YouTube banner page were done by the amazing Oren. You might know him as Oren VDK, as well as Oren from Couple Cakes. Thank you so much, Oren. I really do appreciate the time you took to put together everything from the banner to the beautifully done introduction that merged perfectly with Christoph's music from GABA Transistor. So big thank you to them. And also, this would not be possible with the help of my extremely amazing patrons, both current and former, such as Lexi Kitty, Silverleaf, Barry Grave, Harkov, Jeray, Larian, and Oren, as well as a few others that have come and gone over the years. Y'all, this would not be possible without your help and your support. I know I have not been able to provide much in the way of giving back in Patreon rewards, but I am in the process of revamping my Patreon as well as the rewards that I can do, so be prepared. I know I joke about it, saying that if you're morbidly fascinating, check it out, but if you do want to give to the Boogie Night Project, that is the easiest way to do so, and I am legitimately setting aside funds to buy more hardware for my computer, as well as making things look more professional. But once again, very big thank y'all to everybody who has supported me from the beginning all the way to the present, as well as those individuals that have gone out of their way to help. So once again, guys, thank you so much for all your constant love and support. My gratitude knows no bounds, and I'll catch you on the flip side, all right? Peace.